Hey. So, I was thinking, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone. Thank you very much for sticking around to hear me. I'd love to think that it was always you're eagerly anticipating my performance, but in reality, I know we're all students here, you're just way too fucking lazy to leave the room. You really are, but I really know what it feels like. You know, the other day, so I woke up, alright, and I wanted to make breakfast. So, obviously, I went underneath my bed to get my bread, because you leave all non-fridge items underneath your bed so that your fucking thieving housemates will not take all your shit. It is true, we all do it. And anyway, and as I was pulling out, I actually noticed that now Jane Fonda had acquired a nice cock on her forehead on my feminist textbook, which was really appreciated. So anyway, but then I went into the kitchen, and I was thinking, I really like Marmite in the morning. Like, I just do, because it's like that little bit of spark, a little fire in the morning, which wakes you up. So I'm getting a bit excited, like, oh, I'm looking forward to Marmite on toast, brilliant. So I get out my Marmite, open it up, and it's full of ash. Full of ash, and it's just one of these things about student accommodation, just anything round-shaped becomes an ashtray. It's so fucking annoying, like, because I've got loads of round things. But anyway, so like, so I go down to the street, because I need to get more Marmite, and on my high street where I live, we got 2 food shops, right, and they're right next to each other. On the left-hand side, you've got like the local community corner shop, you know, employing local people, you know, supporting grassroots, all that sort of stuff. And on the right-hand side, you've got like the fucking capitalist, evil Tesco right there, calling itself Metro as if it's different. And no, you're not, you're fucking wrong. So anyway, so I get all up about this. I'm like, fuck you, Tesco, I'm going to go support my community. So I go in, I've got a little bit of a swagger on because I'm so fucking thrilled about how liberal I am. And I go up to the man, I was just like, I just have a little jar of Marmite, please, mate. You don't do Marmite. Oh, what have you got instead? Bovril. Bovril. Oh, you haven't got like Marmite like the diet. No, just Bovril. No, that's alright. Okay, it tastes like arse gravy, but you know, I'll deal with it. Okay, I'll deal with it. Okay, so what is that? How much is that? £4.60. You fucking. And it is. It's just way too expensive to be left wing. But like with food and all things, we go through different phases in our lives. We go through different phases, and I'm going through one right now. Just going through this phase where I keep sleeping with homeless people. Yeah, it's just so easy to get them to stay over. It really, it's just this, like. So yeah, it's nice though. We've had a couple of Americans about it. It's really, really nice. I went out for a night out with 2 of my American friends. All right, and I took them to a dubstep night because they'd never been to a dubstep night. So I get into the nightclub and I love dubstep, right? And so the beat hits me and I'm just like, I'm loving it. You know, I'm just chicken walking across the dance floor, you know, I'm actually loving it. I look over and I see my 2 American friends like looking at each other. They're like, well, take Shakespeare, you can keep this fucking shit. What is it? And it got me thinking about dubstep because I do like it. But it is basically like whip, wop, wap, weep, whoop, just sort of in a loop. It's just fucking awful, like, if you think about it. It's like it's been written by Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Man. Like, it's just like, whip, 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 you know, and with a dirty beat underneath it. Like, it's the worst. But actually, it reminds me, where I used to live, I lived with this guy, right, and he always used to talk like he was a right little gangster. Like, he always used to, I mean, he was this fucking white kid from Hampshire, but he always used to talk like he was a gangster. And he came up to me one and he was like, Pete, man, I was listening to this dubstep on YouTube and it was so dirty, I had to switch to porn when my mum walked in. Like that. You hear things like that and you're just like, God, what's happening? So anyway, yeah, so I was hanging around with my friends the other day and we were talking about like weird crushes that we have. You know, celebrities you're not really meant to fancy, but you do kind of fancy. Mine's always been Helen Mirren, just an easy one. Don't know what it is, she's just big tits, I guess. But like, you know, you just love it, don't you? But anyway, my girlfriend said Bill Nye, which is a weird one. Like, you know, from Love Actually? The guy looks like he's melting, like that one. What is this saying about me? Like, I could not believe it. And it's like, as well with him, he's always looked old. He's been making films for years. Even when he was young, he looked old. Like, I couldn't get it. He's so wrinkly. But anyway, like, so then, but the one that really got me, the one that really stood out, right, was my flatmate. And he said to me, he was like, I really fancy Deborah Mead. Oh, is it, you know, Deborah Mead and the blonde one from Dragon's Den? That one, yeah? And I was like, Deborah Mead? Why? She became famous when she was like 50. So it's not like a memory of her being attractive, like once upon a time. She's always been old. And I was just like, why? And she spends her time telling poor people she's not going to help them. Like, she's really mean. Like, it's so, but it was like, no, think about it. Really think about it. And I've got a bit of a visual mind, so I visualised it, and I was like, what would it be like to go on a date with Deborah Meaden? So what you do, you get to the restaurant, it'll be all nice, like a nice little atmosphere, good food, music, ambiance, all that sort of stuff. The check comes over, she takes it off you, and she's like, I'll give you all of the money for 40% of the equity. And you're like, no, not here. No, shit. And anyway, so you leave the restaurant, and then you go back to her place, because she says, your place or mine? And obviously it's going to be her place, because comparatively my place is a fucking shithole. So like, you know, you're obviously going to her place. You walk in, it's this lovely pad, you know, you're loving it and it's great. You get some wine, start smooching, it's really nice and everything. You go upstairs, go to the bedroom, and you start having sex. It's beautiful, you're absolutely loving it. And you start thinking about it a bit, because you look down and you're like, I am having sex with Deborah Meaden. I am having sex with the dragon. I am slaying the dragon. You know, just you know, King George is just he's just cheering you on, because you are slaying this dragon. It's fiery, like there's fire everywhere. It's fiery, and you're loving it. And then you're just thinking like cash and dragons and scales and money and love and passion and King George and all this. And it just gets to that point. And you look down, you step back, and you just say, Deborah, I'm out. Thanks a lot, everyone. Cheers.